Episode 8 of The Acolyte has dropped. Nick, this thing, first of all, didn't even have a title until the next day. And the title, the finale, is called The Acolyte.
Yeah, very very creative. Very creative.
Self-titled episode finale. And it's
Yeah.
appropriate to call it The Acolyte too, because I truly do believe this is going to be the series finale.
Yeah.
Even though we see so many things set up for the continuation of this terrible show. There's so much about the Acolyte that doesn't make sense. In this video, Nick and I are going to introduce several of the things that basically showcases the failed storytelling of Leslie Headland and the entire Acolyte team. This is the worst live action Star Wars, the worst Star Wars of all time, period.
Yeah, absolutely. And I got some notes, guys, that I'm gonna hit. Some stuff that I wrote up. The first thing is just on episode 8. It's basically has now sparked discussions about all the plot holes, inconsistencies. One significant issue involves the character May and her complex relationship with Soul, where past events and identities basically just create confusion. Additionally, the appearance of Kai Adi Mundi, a Jedi Master, raises questions also about the timeline and continuity within the established Star Wars canon, particularly regarding the existence of Sith Lords in the history of the Jedi.
Yeah.
These elements have basically left fans debating that. A lot of people are talking about the birth date change, but it's more than just that. But the coherence and the impact on the broader Star Wars narrative has definitely been affected with this show.
Well, and the whole thing about continuity, they're able to take things and just change it however they want to.
Yeah.
Darth Plagueis would be extremely young in this series, in this setting, but he's shown as an adult lingering in the cave.
Yeah, like
And
he's
I'm
very
like,
old
what's
and
he looking for? Is he looking for the $180 million budget? Is that what he's looking for?
probably.
Is he looking for the plot of the
Yeah.
story? Um, and the thing is, you just tied a character that is very popular within the fandom. You just tied that character in to this series, the worst series of all time. That's not a smart move.
No,
That's not a smart move. That is not going to pay off for you.
nope, not at all. Yeah, one of the notes I have just on the series, basically on one of the main issues, is the character confusion. So, like May's complex relationship with Soul and her disguise as her twin creates confusion, particularly as Soul is already aware of the ruse. He's already knows that May is uh, you know portraying herself as herself, but then switches and pretends to be Osha, and he basically knows this and figures it out in that one episode where he basically stuns her. But she kind of keeps the act going, like they're still supposed to be wondering who's who or something.
Well, I'm glad
I
that
don't
they at
know.
least cleared up the fact that they're not two different people. They're the same person.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm glad they cleared that up because she only has like two facial expressions throughout the entire series, whether it's May or Osha. Look,
yeah,
let me just be real here. Amanda Stenberg is a terrible actress.
yeah.
Terrible. She might have been okay as a child actress. As an adult, she sucks. She's
Yes, in this
awful.
show at least for
Yeah.
sure.
She is all yeah, maybe it's the directing, I don't know, but I lost all care about Amanda Stenberg in the middle of this series when she comes out with her little diss track.
So stupid.
Definitely did not help the Acolyte. One thing that I didn't like about the show that many people have talked about online, and we knew it was coming. This whole thing, this whole story element to make the Jedi look bad. Not only did the Acolyte make the Jedi look bad, and they're liars. They conceal things. They conceal the truth. They hide the truth from the Senate now.
Mm.
All of these bad things. Not only do they do that, at the very end in the last scene, brother, they put Yoda on top of all of it.
Yeah. And we don't even know what that conversation entailed, what she was gonna say to him. Was she gonna lie to him? Was she gonna tell him the truth? I mean, if she told him the truth, uh, then he's, I guess, complacent with the fact that Sith have returned in the prequels.
Yeah.
And if she lied, then he couldn't sense that? I mean, we've seen him be able to sense Jedi getting killed, and Obi-Wan Kenobi was, sensing
Yeah, but this is
Alderaan.
young Yoda who looks exactly like old
Old
Yoda.
Yoda. Yeah, exactly. Uh,
They even used the puppet from The Last Jedi.
yeah, it looked like it. Yeah, it
Yeah.
looked like that. That's what they end up using.
And look, they're proud, bro.
Mm,
The Acolyte team, Leslie, they're proud that they brought. See, this is Star Wars. No, no. The fans hate the Acolyte.
yeah.
It is awful. If you like it, like I don't see how. I'm glad. I'm glad you like it, but it just there's so many things about it. Why did the brown gerbil pull the wires and sabotage Soul's ship?
Yeah.
Why did Tormund kill himself? We never got an answer to that.
Nope.
This last episode was supposed to
Give us
uh,
answers.
give us answers to the biggest mysteries, like how they were created.
Yeah, we
They
still don't know
never
how they were
they
created.
never told us.
No.
They were about to tell us 2 or 3 times, and they never got to it.
Yeah.
And why didn't May leave with Osha at the end of the story
Yeah.
instead of staying behind so her mind is wiped? How does Jedi mind wipes work like that? Boy, I'd be using that
All
on
you gotta do is
everybody.
that.
Yeah,
Boom,
so
mind wiped.
dumb. And there's other things. We're talking about specific problems with the show. They really tried to ratchet up the whole uh, tension, drama in this episode, and it just came across cringe to me, and
Yeah.
really the whole show did.
Yeah, and one of the other notes I have is the character motivations. Some of the character motivations, particularly May's rage, in episode 8, it really felt undeveloped and not entirely justified by the narrative of the story. Because at one moment you have her kind of being on the same side with all them, and then she finds out the truth, and she's just gonna snap like that,
Yeah,
on him and go full dark side. And then you have May, who's talking about wanting to turn herself in, but then she's still trying to kill and attack everybody. And then she's goes back to showing mercy, and no, I want him to, go before the Senate and the Jedi Council, and tell them what happened, and pay for what he did. Like, it's just it's a bunch of wishy-washiness and back and forth, and they're constantly flipping these characters
yeah.
on who they actually are as characters.
I
It's
want
confusing.
him to go back and face the council. 2 minutes later, I kill him.
Yeah,
And the thing is, okay, Soul allows himself to be killed.
yeah,
He
and
allows himself to be force choked to death, but 2 minutes before he allowed himself to be force choked to death, he was 100% of the mind, "I didn't do anything wrong. What I did was right."
yeah,
It doesn't make sense. What, you died of a broken heart because your Padawan that didn't even make it as a Jedi is trying to kill you now?
yeah, and he was about to say he loves her. I thought Jedi weren't supposed to have
Yeah,
attachments
yeah.
and all
Soul
that.
is the worst Jedi of all time.
Yeah. Uh, I did like the, actor's, performance and his acting for the majority of the show, but
Yeah.
the character that was written for him, that he
It
had to
got
portray, was
progressively worse.
terrible. And
Yeah.
yeah, it just got worse and worse throughout the entire series. Uh, you know, and that's just creepy. He was about to tell this young kid that he's known that he loves her, and it wasn't in a way. It didn't feel like it was in a way like, like a father would love a daughter or anything. It felt like a creepy sort of thing because they had no relationship. He didn't even know who she was. He just had this connection, like, oh, I got this connection with her. He doesn't even know her, when he meets her as a kid.
Exactly.
It's just
Exactly.
dumb.
And he had this connection because he was so I guess he was so driven to want a Padawan for himself.
Yeah,
So he just loves her right from the get-go. It
that's not
is
a Jedi.
freaking weird, dude.
Yeah.
Entire Jedi Order would have been like, "Nah, dog, you don't need a Padawan."
Yeah, like you're like, really desiring this a little too much. You need to be
Mhm.
able to let go, and when you're ready for one, we'll give you a Padawan, you know. Torben, all he wanted to do was go home. Uh, I still don't know what he did to where he felt the need to have
Never
to
will.
off himself.
Never
Uh,
will.
you know, what did he do?
Yep.
It was
Nothing.
all soul.
They not only did they make the Jedi look bad, they made them look incompetent and stupid.
Yeah,
And an
yeah,
entire Jedi team showing up on Brindok at the last episode, and they got their orders to stand guard. What do? They follow the gerbil around.
yeah.
That's all they're doing.
I still
All
don't know why he disabled Soul's ship, when he knew
makes no
that
sense.
May was the murderer and
Why
the
are you
bad guy.
sabotaging the ship, gerbil? I
Yeah,
don't understand.
yeah. The wishy-washiness and back and forth with these characters
That's
is
the thing about it. It was like trying to solve a puzzle the whole time you're watching it, and that wasn't by design. That's because of piss
yeah,
poor storytelling. We can't
yeah.
figure out what the hell's going on.
Yeah, it's like
That's
having a
not
bunch of
mystery.
it's like having a bunch of puzzle pieces, but none of the puzzle pieces actually fit together.
Yeah.
So you're just sitting there, like, trying to pound them together, like, "Fit, come on, fit." These puzzle
Exactly.
pieces aren't going together right, but we're gonna force it to.
And dude, Master and Apprentice, Kamir and and Osha. Okay, what happened to the rule of two? Plagueis is supposedly the master. We don't get confirmation of that, but that's what it indicates. So
Yeah,
now Kamir's like, well, I'm no longer an apprentice. I'm a master now, and I'm taking on my own.
yeah,
Okay, so now there are three. And here's the thing about it: that last scene, bro, is one of the cringiest Star Wars things I've ever seen in my life. Master and apprentice romantically holding hands, looking out at the horizon. The
yep,
Sith.
yep, the Sith, and they are a couple now, holding one lightsaber together, like, how romantic. Like, what? What?
The lightsaber changing colors, dude.
Oh, yeah. So that's the other thing. Everybody's like, "Oh, the crystal was bleeding," that
That was just to justify it changing colors.
yeah. So, a and I'm taking this by people that know the canon from the EU and all that sort of stuff. Apparently, this is like, a process that the Sith go through in a ceremony, something that happens over time. This isn't something that, boom, you break the crystal
The,
to bleed it, and then
the
you just
first
grab
time
the
I
saber
ignite it.
and boom, it's red.
And,
This is something that happens over a period of time through a ceremony and all this other stuff. And so,
yeah.
yeah.
So another question. What did we find out about Cortosa's helmets during this episode or during this series? What did we find out about it?
Yeah,
You can't use the force against it. You can't read their mind. You can't penetrate their mind.
yeah.
Nothing. They're totally blocked off
Yes, the
from the
Magneto
force.
helmet.
However, in this episode, Osha has it on. Kamir goes all demonized, using the force on her head.
What I don't know if that's actually what was happening. The way I saw it was that she was actually, like, the helmet, her having it on was making her use that witch power and made him have demonized, and he was using the force to fight it to take the helmet off of her.
It just appeared that whatever he was doing, you might be right, but it just appeared with his hand stretched out towards her helmet
Yeah, I
that
think he
he's
was trying
trying
to.
to do something with the force to her head. And you can't because she's wearing a Cortosa's helmet that happens to belong to you. So
Yeah,
you ought to know that.
yeah.
Things like that right there, Nick, that just doesn't make sense. There's way too much open to interpretation with this show, which means bad writing.
Yeah, yeah, because they don't explain it because you saw it that way. I saw it a different way that he was using the force and he was reaching out, not using the force, but reaching out to try to grab the helmet and pull it off of her head to stop her from the helmet was like making her use her witch powers or something, the power of many or whatever,
Yeah.
so but again, there's no explanation there. So
And
who
what
knows
about
what was going on?
OSHA being locked up on the table?
Oh, yeah, where she unlocks one side, and then the other side magically, I guess, is just unlocked
She phased through it.
automatically.
She phased through it. She's
Yeah.
like one of the X-Men.
Yeah, in Soul, like, he's a Jedi Master, but he didn't know what was going on, or he couldn't sense it, that she was getting her to come up, you know, uh when we saw Anakin and him doing the pod race and how he was talking about how he's the only human that could do it, it's because Jedi had the ability to almost slow time and be able to see stuff right before it happens. That's why when Luke had the blaster helmet on in A New Hope with the face shield down, he could see what was coming without actually seeing it. And
Yeah.
Luke wasn't even a Jedi. This is a Jedi master, and he didn't know she was unlocking the thing and then coming to stab him to shock him. Like,
Yeah.
none of the Jedi makes sense. But then they also have the ability to where they can be in an area now and understand everything that happened, 15, 20 years ago, and basically know the whole plot of everything, which was introduced in with Cal Kestis, I guess. It might have been introduced before that, but
Right.
in the Jedi Fallen Order games, he was able to do that. But that's a video game. That whole ability of the Force is just dumb to me.
True. I agree. And another thing about the show, the Jedi looking incompetent. I'm going back to that.
Oh, God.
May is on a slave ship ran by droids in the first episode.
Mhm.
She escapes. Using the droid, she escapes. Bad move, Jedi, to put her on a ship like that. Wait, it wasn't May, it was OSHA.
Yeah, yeah. When you
All right.
know she killed a Jedi master and you're just gonna leave her on
Yeah.
the
And in
so
this
dumb.
episode, same character, OSHA, imprisoned by Saul this time, who stunned her, puts her on a table, locks her up, but leaves her with her droid. Here, you can keep your toy.
Yeah,
You can keep your toy, and and I'm going to let you use your droid to escape, phase through the other lock, and then take me down by stunning. It's so dumb, dude.
yeah,
It is inconceivably dumb. This
yeah.
show.
Yeah, the only people that could defend this is the hardcore shills that are just gonna have their head in the sand and just be like, everything on this is great. We're just be happy you're getting content. Just be happy. Just be happy that you're. If we weren't getting this, we'd be getting nothing. So just be glad that you're getting something. No, I'd rather have nothing than this garbage.
Well, I mean, I loved making videos and reviewing it.
Yeah, that
Watching
was
it,
the funnest part of the whole thing.
watching it was hard,
Yeah,
but I had a lot of laughs.
yeah,
And this show has been memed to death, and it always will be.
yeah.
There's a reason why the audience score is what it is. Right now, it's sitting at 15%. Guys, they could say this was review bombed all they want to. It wasn't.
No.
That's how bad the show is.
Mm,
Very few people like it.
yeah.
I mean, this didn't even have to be Star Wars to be bad. This
No.
reached epic levels of terrible.
Yeah.
And it's a shame that Kathleen Kennedy stamped this approved. It's a shame that
And
Dave
Dave
Filoni.
Filoni.
That
Yeah.
shows you right there that none of us should have any confidence in the leadership at Lucasfilm. Most of us already didn't already, but
Yeah.
this is a big indicator. They can't make Kenobi season 2. They can't make the Book of Boba Fett season 2. They can't officially announce Ahsoka season 2, and they do this.
Yeah. You predictions, coach. Is this getting a season 2?
Bro, it doesn't make sense. It even
Financially?
even the shill media has come out and said, in terms of cost production to viewership, you can't make a season 2.
Mm.
But at Lucasfilm under this leadership, at Disney under this leadership, the messaging is more important than the profitability. They're making their money other places like the parks. So like to hell with it. Let's just make what we want to make. That's basically how they're running the franchise.
Seems that way.
And
Seems that
so
way.
yeah, it wouldn't shock me at all. And here's the thing too. They know it sucks. They know the audience hates it. Lucasfilm never publicly takes the L.
No.
They never admit defeat. How do you not admit defeat? By making another season.
Yeah. Yeah.
My prediction, my brain says no. It
Yeah.
does not get a second season. But there I go again, brother, thinking logically. And you can't do that with Disney and Lucasfilm. You can't.
No. Yeah. Yeah. I'm in the same boat. I don't see how they could justify a season two of this at all. But God, man, I'm rooting for a season two. I'm rooting for a season two just because this was so much
It'll be so
fun
funny.
roasting all over this. Like we had so many great interactions with everybody in the chat, in the comment section, on our live streams, other content creators coming over here and giving their thoughts and stuff. And guys, we just hit a couple small things and points on stuff that didn't make sense. I'm sure there's probably tons of stuff that if we really sat down and went through the whole series again, we could name so much more stuff. So if you
Yeah.
guys know of some other stuff that we didn't mention, throw it in the comment section
Absolutely.
below.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
What do we have to look forward to? We have Skeleton Crew coming, but before that, Nick, August 9th, D23. Let's see what kind of announcements we get.
Oh, are we gonna get an update on the Lando show, the droid show, that was announced, what,
Rangers
5
of the
years
New
ago?
Republic,
Yeah,
any of the canceled movies. They have canceled more things than
yep.
that they have actually greenlit than anything.
Ryan Johnson's trilogy. Yeah, where's that? Where's Ron
Awful,
Johnson's trilogy?
awful.
I mean, at this point, please, Disney, bring Ryan Johnson back. I'd almost rather see him do something than the crew that made this pile of crap.
This is the worst.
Yeah.
This is the worst.
This is the worst show. I don't think it'll do as much damage as The Last Jedi did because they really messed up a legacy character, but this did a lot of damage with the lore, pretty much of the whole trilogy because with the whole stuff with the Virgins and Plagueis and all that, it all came about because of the events of this show. You know, that's what Disney's wanting you to believe.
Yes.
For
Yes.
me, this is not Star Wars, so this is not what happened in the past.
This show plants the seed for how Palpatine creates Anakin,
Yeah,
and nobody wants to see that.
no,
But that's where they're headed.
yeah,
Dave Filoni, you suck.
yeah, yeah.
Leslie
We had,
Headland, you already know you do.
yeah, we had faith in you, Filoni, with the Clone Wars season 7, and then the end of Mando season 2. But since then, and with all the interviews with him and everything, it's been terrible, absolutely terrible.
Yep. Let us know in the comments anything that we left. We will continue to watch it burn down. Thank you guys for being here and watching it with us. We are your Echo Base Network. See you on the next one.
I guess.